Good morning, masterminds. Welcome to another day in the life of a driving instructor. Today, you will get to experience one of my driving lessons. And that lesson will involve my worst student ever. I'm not excited. Let's see if I get angry. I don't even want to think about it because I'm just so exhausted and it's gonna tire me out. She's done multiple lessons since the last time I gave her a lesson in November. I think she failed her driver's test. Maybe, when was it? It was recently. Jeez. I'm just exhausted. I don't want to get up. I've been waking up, later and later. Because I've been working a lot. And, yesterday was the worst start I ever had to a work day as a driving instructor. I woke up, but I couldn't get up. Woke up around 7:20-ish, 7:30-ish. Didn't get up until like 8:15-ish. And then I was heating up my pesto pasta in the microwave. Me being all out of it, I only grabbed the hot bowl with one hand and I burned myself and I dropped it and everything splattered all over the floor and stove. And in that moment I was like, oh my fuck. All it takes is one bad day. I could have cried, but I was just dejected and thought about, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be late. So I cleaned up. I got ready as fast as I could. I didn't eat breakfast. Maybe just 2 handfuls of trail mix from my bag that I take to work. I came home after my second appointment yesterday because my last student was nearby. And I had time for my poop. I had time to eat and drink, rejuvenate. I'm earning more and more money the more I work. Each paycheck, well, the last paycheck was over $1,000 after taxes. The paycheck I got today, even more than that. So I'm working as hard as I can. Good morning, Mia.
Hello.
My next paycheck will be even more, assuming no one cancels. Their lessons. I think I have 37 students. That's a lot of travel time too. So I did 3 yesterday, that's 34 remaining. Until the next payday. But I need to get up.
Do you like my OOTD? I got another American Apparel jacket and Levi's pants last week. Same models, but these gray ones, this gray one is 30 by 30, not 31 by 30, which the khakis are.
As of 2 days ago, Sunday, I've been working on my downshifting because I used to have a very bad coasting habit. I mean, my brother taught me how to downshift that night, but in 2 hours I couldn't fully understand it. So when I could, after those 2 hours, I was just learning by myself. So I developed a bad habit of coasting. I could get away with it in the Miata and the Mini Cooper. But in Henry, this Honda Civic, this old Honda Civic, sometimes when I'm turning, the car loses power, like goes dead. But yeah, I corrected my bad habit. I just wish people could fucking, God. It's like, just go on the goddamn shoulder and go. You know you're gonna goddamn turn. Fucking idiot. You people are just dumb as fuck. Excuse me. Wasn't me. Coasting is basically when you keep the car in neutral and when the car's in neutral, the wheels are not connected to the engine, so the car's not in balance, and turning can be dangerous. And then if your car is old, it'll die during the turn, because when you're in neutral, your engine is at idle revs. On a weak car, you can lose the power from stalling. Should I teach you how to drive manual transmission cars? Let you witness Henry's downshifting. It's not that bad. But I think I'm just gonna make use of braking and then disengaging the clutch. Because downshifting can get tiring if you do it a lot. The reason why you downshift is to use engine braking, so you don't wear out your brakes so much. Holy shit, that's a huge truck. Making a turn. Well, of course Noel is in the right lane signaling. See, to make that turn, I just took my foot off the gas, stayed in second gear. Thanks, Henry, for teaching me that I can't get away with bad habits. I should add that when you don't downshift, you're using the clutch more often, wearing it out. Coasting means you're using the clutch often, so got to avoid that. You coast when you're afraid of stalling. I was afraid of stalling for years because when I first learned how to drive stick, I hated that failure of not knowing how to drive a manual transmission car. You're damaging the car. I hope I don't die today. We're going to simulate the drive test. I'm very likely going to get annoyed, frustrated, possibly enraged. Customer disservice. Here we go. There's no need to stop here. You have a green light. You just have to remember that's an unprotected left. Yeah. So there's no cars coming straight at you and no pedestrians to your left. It's just a yield. Make a left turn at the light, second turn lane.
bikes, perfect. Let's make 2 left lane changes. Very good. Make a left turn at the light. Up ahead, let's pull over to an open curb.
Okay. So over here?
Yeah, wherever there's an open curb. So if you don't check for bikes, you may instantly fail if you do it too many times. Alrighty, so I'm going to take some time to explain the score sheet. So for the car controls and the pre-drive checklist, these bold are mandatory questions.
Yeah.
So you know where the emergency parking brake is?
Yeah, it's right here.
That one, yeah. Show me your arm signals and tell me what they mean.
Alright. So this means stop or slow down. This
Mhm.
means left. This means right.
Correct. Where are your windshield wipers?
Right here. Right here.
Yeah, the right hand. Now, show me both defroster settings. Perfect. Your emergency flasher. Correct. And your headlights.
Right here. Let me go over here.
So turn on the low beams for me. Correct. And engage the high beams. There we go. Perfect. So again, those are the 6 questions. There's no freeway or highway on the test, so you'll do your parking lot driving. Whenever you pull out from the parking lot and there's a sidewalk in front of you, stop behind it.
So before pulling over, I'm supposed to look over my shoulder?
Well, that's different from what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yes, whenever you pull over or pull out from the curb or lane change, you have to check for traffic. You're graded on your intersections, left and right turns, backing up along the curb, lane changes. You know the whole shtick.
Yeah.
Are there anything you want to review before we simulate?
Yeah, so I also took it the second time, I think last week.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as I was exiting the DMV, I have trouble exiting a parking lot, so I ended up kind of going over the curb when I was exiting.
And you instantly failed?
Yeah, he instantly failed me and told me to like go around the park. So I want to work on that. I think on the road part I'm fine, but it's just that in the parking lot is what mostly worries me. I just want to work on exiting the parking lot because I made the right turn a little too soon. I was supposed to go all the way and then make the right turn.
Yes.
But I got really nervous. I have to tell you, I to be honest with you, I was extremely anxious. So I guess my anxiety got the best of me, and then I ended up making the right turn. And then I've never made that mistake on any of my. I never bumped into something on any of my lessons. That's never happened in any of my lessons. So it's a mistake I never made. And I was like, okay, I did it on the test out of all days.
All right, so we'll practice that in a little bit, but we're gonna first simulate the driving part.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to review before we go simulate?
Just like anything, it's all review, but except that part that I was talking about.
Okay, so we'll take some time to review then.
Yeah.
Let's make a left turn at that T intersection.
Okay.
So you don't really have to wait for this car. You're just checking to your left and over your shoulder. Because that car's not in your lane.
Yeah. And you want to go left?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a yield. There's no stop sign. You have to check left and right for this left turn. Very good. Stay in your lane.
Yeah, I was trying not to get too close to the cars.
But you're more than 6 feet away from these cars on your right. You're driving in the center of the road in both lanes.
They instantly fail me for that?
Well, you're driving in the opposite lane of traffic.
So I try to stay here, my test.
You stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Let's make a left turn at the stop sign. This is what's called a blind intersection because there's going to be...
Yeah, it's the inch-up situation.
Yeah. So 2 seconds stop, and we inch forward. Let's make a right turn. So this is the island turn. We're going to check for bikes first. Nothing in the mirrors over the shoulder.
Yeah.
No pedestrians, so you go over the crosswalk and you yield to any traffic. Very good. Let's make 2 left lane changes.
Okay.
You have to keep up your speed when you're lane changing. See, this truck behind is traveling at 40. You enter it at about 25. That's dangerous.
They instantly fail me for that?
That's a dangerous maneuver, what you're doing. Make a left turn at this light. the traffic light, let's make a left turn.
Okay.
The next street on the left, you're going to be turning. It's coming up in about 150 feet from you.
Okay, so the sign for left lane?
Yes, so this first street on the left. So you entered way too early.
Okay.
And you're driving in this lane for more than 200 feet now.
You want to turn here?
Yes. Notice how you entered way before the gap?
Yeah.
You want to enter as late as possible because both sides of traffic can use that lane.
Oh, okay.
That is a very dangerous lane. It's called the suicide lane for the head-on collisions. So you signal left at 100 feet from your left turn, and at 50 feet you get in between the yellow lines. Make a left turn here. All right, let's pull over to the curb. Let's back up the car until I tell you to stop. So maintain the same speed. You'll stop right here. So do you remember what I taught you to do after they tell you to stop?
Park and keep your hands on the wheel.
Correct. All right, let's proceed onto the road.
be a good distance between the parked cars.
Yes. You can sort of see a faint line in the middle of the road. Stay as close to it as possible without crossing it.
Yeah.
Make a left turn at the stop sign. You didn't even... Okay. You have to be...
Yeah, I did look.
So you don't want to waste time by just not looking immediately. Look as you approach and look as you inch forward. Look the entire time. Make a left turn at the stop sign.
Okay.
So notice this is an all-way stop. You don't need to make a second stop like this. If you see the all-way sign below your stop, everyone at the intersection has a stop sign. You'll lose the point if you stop multiple times.
So it's an unnecessary stop.
Yes. We're going to make a left turn at this light. Make a right turn into this driveway.
Okay. Over here?
Yes. So you have to check for bikes still. While we're at it, we'll practice some parking. Because you do have to park at the end of the test.
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember my techniques? At the left here. Okay, so we always drive on the right. If you drive on the left, you'll fail your test. Just try to stay on the right. We'll go around to the next rail. Let's make a left. Make a left. So my technique for parking on the left, let's stop right here. Let's say we're going to park in front of the tree. You're going to count one slot to the left. You're going to line up your left shoulder with the left line of that first slot.
Over here?
We're going to park in front of the tree. Count one slot to the left, in front of the red truck. Line up your left shoulder with the left line of that slot. Go more forward, you're not lined up. A little bit more. There we go. This would be the timing to turn about 65% to the left. You have to turn and swing. It's not a gradual little turn. So you're basically parked on top of the line. You need to turn fast and hold it. Look at how much space you have on your left.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll try again. Let's back up.
You want to do a different parking spot then?
Well, what are we doing sitting here? Of course we're going to try another spot. Let's make a right turn.
Okay.
We'll follow this car into this row.
Okay.
You need to stay in your lane. You're turning too late. Let's choose a slot on the left.
Okay. So right here.
So let's park on the right side of this car.
Okay.
This man is getting out. Notice how you're angling to the left lane already. You're wasting space to turn.
Mm-hmm.
No, look in front of you. Look at how you're angled into the left lane.
Mm-hmm.
You're wasting space to turn. Stay in the right lane and drive straight only. So you missed the timing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go around to the right.
Okay.
Let's make a right turn. So we're going to park in front of this tree, count one slot to the left, line up your left shoulder. But notice how you're already angling your wheel into the left lane. You just want to drive straight in the right lane.
Like this?
Yes.
Okay.
So start turning immediately,
Like that?
a lot, 65% of the way, and just hold. Slowly straighten as you enter. A little bit more to the left. Alright, let's see your progress. So you made it inside, but you're closer on the right line than the left. So your timing and your drifting into the left lane is causing you to park improperly. Because if you park like this and there's cars next to you, you might be parked very close on one side.
Am I opening the door so I can see?
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I think there's a little bit more space here.
No, there's a lot more space.
Yeah.
We'll try again.
Okay.
Make a left turn. Choose the left side to park in. So you're going to be parking next to the blue Honda, right?
Yeah. Alright.
So I think you might be on top of the line.
I'm kind of close to the line, but yeah, I'm inside the line still.
Okay. But you would still be parked very close to a car on your left. Look at how much space you have. I mean, you're turning too early. And you're turning too much because you held it to the left because we're crooked, if you can notice.
Yeah.
So we'll try again.
Okay.
You still haven't straightened out in the right lane. Turn to the right. Always drive in the right lane.
Okay.
So back up and straighten the car so you can make it into the slot. Turn to the right a little bit.
Okay, like that?
You're turning to the left. Turn to the right.
Oh, okay.
Turn to the right more.
Okay.
Keep reversing. Keep reversing. Start to turn to the left as you keep reversing. Take your foot off the brake.
Okay.
Let's reverse. Turn to the left now.
Okay.
See how we're getting closer to the right as we back up?
Yeah.
Keep turning to the left.
Okay. Sorry.
You
Okay, so to the left.
see, now we're straight in the right lane.
Okay.
Now you just drive straight in the right lane and line up your shoulder with my technique.
Okay. So it would be so we're going for that part.
Yes.
Right?
You're going to line up your left shoulder with the left line where this number 11 car is parked.
Okay. So let's go to drive. Do I start turning now?
Did you line yourself up?
Yeah. So let's see.
So this is much better.
Yeah. That's better, too.
See, when you're going to turn left, the further right you stay, the easier the turn's going to be to straighten the car.
Okay.
Let's try another one.
Alright.
Turn slower than that. If you turn too much like that, you're going to hit a car on your side.
Oh.
I need you to turn the wheel more efficiently, hand over hand.
Okay. Like that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a right turn.
Okay.
Let's do the left side parking.
Okay. Alrighty, so your technique would be...
Look how you're drifting into the left lane.
Okay.
Not good. You're wasting space to enter the slot.
Mm-hmm.
Stay on the right.
Okay. So, we can do another time. I could just do the next one.
Yeah.
So is this distance good?
Yes, because you're staying in the right lane.
Okay.
You only drive straight. Stop angling it to the left like that.
Okay.
You just line up and you swing to the left.
So we start turning from here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're crooked to the left. You need to angle. Do you see how crooked you are? You held it too long to the left.
Yeah.
Let's try again. Make a left.
Okay.
At the end, make a left.
I said make a left.
Okay. Okay.
You have to make a right here.
Yeah.
So you signal right.
Yeah.
You didn't stop behind the sidewalk. Turn right into the driveway.
Okay.
So you're entering on the left. You need to turn much more.
Okay.
Your turning is inefficient. Turn fast and wide if you're going to be turning late. Let's make a right turn here. Let's do another left side parking.
Okay.
And then you'll slowly straighten out the car. And if there's ever a car next to you, line up your doors with their doors. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
That's good. Alright, so I'll teach you the right side parking.
Okay.
Can you please stay in the right lane?
Yes.
Turn right here. Alright, there's some open spaces by the tree you can park in.
Okay. 4. So you want to go next to that SUV?
You're the one parking, right?
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th slot. You need to swing left.
Swing left. Okay.
That wasn't even a swing left. You're still in the right lane. Can you hand over hand, please?
Yes.
See, we're not even going to make it into that parking space. Make a left turn.
Is that hand over hand?
Show me again. Let's make a left here.
Okay.
Yes. Let's make a left turn.
Okay.
But you're doing it improperly again. Stop and let this woman. Alright, let's proceed. Alright, so choose a parking space on the right.
Okay. We go here more to the left.
Don't worry about perfectly lining up at the 4th slot. You're wasting space.
Okay.
Swing left. Multiple hand over hands. Join the left lane and straighten out. You're going to line up your right shoulder with that white line between the two cars.
Okay.
To make it into that last space.
Okay.
Because that's the 1st slot where the SUV is parked, or minivan.
All right.
Keep your wheels straight. Keep your wheels straight. Drive straight and line up with the white line. Now that you're in, you just want to line up your doors. Aim to the right because you're very crooked.
Okay.
See, if you want to correct yourself straight,
in as little space as possible, turn all the way to the right.
Okay.
Turn all the way to the right from me.
Okay.
Release the brake very slowly. See how you're going to correct yourself straight?
Yeah.
Let's do it some more.
Okay.
No, turn all the way to the right.
Alright.
Release the brake slowly. There we go. Now you're perfectly parallel without using so much space. And that's a perfect parking. You just have to work on your steering, because I can't tell you the difference between left and right. You should understand
I know left
that.
and right.
But I don't understand why when I say to turn left, you're turning right. Let's back out of the parking lot. Alright, we're going to exit the parking lot.
Okay.
So whenever there's a sidewalk as you exit a driveway, stop behind the sidewalk, clear pedestrians.
Are we going left or right here?
This is a one-way.
Alright.
You should already know that.
Yeah.
So if there's no pedestrians, go into the sidewalk and clear for cars. And then you're going to turn here. There we go. So you did not come onto the curb and fall off.
Yeah.
That's because you went out a little bit more to give your back wheels turning space. Alright, so we're going to go back to the test area, or close to it.
Close to it, okay.
Let's make a left lane change. And make a left turn at the light.
Okay. So, do you even do hand over hand in this situation?
The turn requires it. Not all turns require it.
Okay.
It's up to your feeling.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's those areas that really need turns.
If it's a sharp turn, you need to use it.
Okay.
Like, let's say at the next light you're making a left into the leftmost lane, and there's 3 lanes.
Yeah.
You'll have to use it for that kind of turn, because the left lane is closer to you. But we'll go straight.
Okay.
We're going to do our first simulation now. At the end of the street, make a left. sign right turn. Sadly, I still can't give you the point for checking for bikes because you're doing it right after you cross the bike lane. At the second light, turn right. And this would be the next fail because this is the first light in front of you. So if you deviate from the test course, we're going to go straight at the light. The traffic light, a left turn. So you crossed over the solid white line. Notice how there's a center left turn lane behind the white line. Drive over the center left turn lane a little bit to avoid the white line. So like we can do it at this stop sign. We're going to make a left. So you would signal left here.
buttons from the light.
Why are you stopping this slow in the middle of the road?
Sorry.
See, you're still avoiding the yellow line. I don't understand. See, you already knew the trick. You told me. Careful with the bump. You have to be scanning ahead. Don't get so blinded by focusing on just one thing. So when I'm driving, I'm always scanning far away and far behind me as well, and to my sides. That bump caught you off guard. Yellow diamond signs tell you what's up ahead.
Yeah, bump. And yeah, there's a bump. Okay.
Yeah. Let's make a left turn at the light. Make a U-turn at the light. You can enter a little faster than that because you're coming super close to the white line. Don't be afraid to turn the wheel.
Do you also use hand over hand for U-turns?
It's necessary. It's greater than 90 degrees to turn. You have to enter the rightmost lane. That way you don't violate the lane change. Let's make a left lane change.
I've had a long day. All it takes is one student. My worst student. She exhausted me. I watched some of the footage after the lesson. I don't think I sound that angry, but inside, just brain dead retard. She exhausted me. By the third lesson, I was like so sleepy. But the next two students, I did have to baby them a little until they did things right. But at least they can learn. When I went back to the office to return, keys, paperwork, stuff, my coworker told me that my worst student, she's been there patroning us for years. I think the lesson I gave her was her 46th or 47th lesson. It's like, jeez. I don't understand. Off camera, when we're in the parking lot, I told her to stop the car so we can practice the hand-over-hand turning technique. She frustrated me so much. I was like, I said her first name, come on, please just follow my instructions. I pleaded with her. I begged her to just follow my hands. I say turn left, she's all like, turning right, oh fuck. She's not gonna pass her test. Yet again. It's at this point that she should just take public transit, a taxi, rideshare. With the money she spent at the driving school, she could just she could have bought herself a very nice car. I don't understand. I don't even feel like working out tonight. I'm just that exhausted. Plus, I should rest anyway, because my body's just overworked. Exercising 4 to 5 times a week. I will give my worst student credit for not getting into a crash, not killing us, for actually looking and exaggerating the movement. I was hoping we could see her do the look where she leans and does that weird arm thing, but she was just doing the swing with her head. My last student almost got us into a crash. He thinks because there's a minivan blocking our view to the right that he can just floor it into the driving lane. We were making a left turn from a stop sign onto a main road with a center left turn lane. Luckily the center left turn lane was there for us to use because I had to steer the wheel, use my brake. Yeah, I do have some notable experiences to share with you. Let me get those pulled up. Alrighty, on February 7th, I taught the daughter of a former driving instructor of the driving school I work for. He told me he worked this job 20 years ago. On 2/9, that day, I experienced for the first time ever getting a paycheck with over $1,000 after taxes. 2/11, one of my students almost peed his pants. Luckily, we were close to the driving school, but I will forever remember him as the student who almost peed his pants. He's the only one that occupies that position status in my mind. On the 12th, I had my most skilled student yet on the first lesson, but she ended up being the worst test taker for the practice tests I administer. I didn't have to teach her much, just the standards for the test, backing up along a curb, parallel parking, and regular parking. I only teach parallel parking if the student's like really good. It's not on the test. I had her again on the 17th and the 22nd. She passed one of 8 practice tests, the very last simulation we did. I wasn't being that difficult with my tests, but I really wanted her to fail all of them by that point, because I was like, I do not know the difference between left and right. When I say turn left. Or, you know, what else did she fail? I don't really fucking remember right now. Maybe driving with a bike lane or something. Deviating from the test course. Just horrible. On the 19th, one of my best students ever passed with 0 errors. She told me, and I congratulated her. And then that day I did have my best student yet. It was her first lesson. She's a quick learner, and she remembered what to do for every situation I exposed her to. Her mom taught her the basics before the first lesson, and she learned from me everything else needed for the test in the first lesson. We didn't have much fun conversation, but she made up for it in her skill and confidence. I've never seen that level of skill and confidence in a student. Like with parking, she could park in one fluid motion, not having to stop and use my method, following each lineup and thing, you know. She can park without stopping between the steps of my methods. See, this is why I take notes. And then yesterday, the 22nd, was the second time I had a highly competent and confident student on the third lesson. I would rank her my second most skilled student. What's funny is she's Filipino, and her middle name has my name in it, Noelani. And then, oh yes, during the last lesson with that horrible test taker student, It was the second time a bug interrupted my lesson. Interrupted the lesson. A stink bug was crawling on my neck right here, and I freaked out. I flung my clipboard and pen, and I flicked it off, fell onto the seat, and I flicked it onto the carpet. I lost track of it, so we pulled over shortly later, and I took the rug out and I left it on the left it in the gutter. That's I was freaked out. My student was laughing at me. And yeah, that's all I have. Alrighty, masterminds. The vlog will end here. I don't know when I will see you next. I gave myself March Madness by requesting 5 days off only. No, I requested 26 days of work. That's how I really did it. I may see you earlier, but expect me by March 18th. Alright. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, be smart for your heart. Good night.